Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm Nathan with the ebookreader.com. For this video, I'm going to give you guys an in-depth review of the Remarkable Paper Tablet 2. So I reviewed the first one back in 2017. It's nice to see they've updated the design quite a bit. It's much thinner, and it just feels like a more premium device. It's got an aluminum frame, and it's very thin. It comes with a stylus for writing on the screen. Actually, there are two different options for the stylus. There's a white one and a black one. They're mostly the same. They have the same kind of feel to them. The black one just adds an eraser at the tip, so you can just flip it over to erase instead of using the on-screen options to erase a little bit quicker with that. So the Remarkable is designed as a note-taking and writing device that has a bunch of different options for writing on the screen. You got different thicknesses, different pencil and pen types. It's got pressure sensitivity and tilt. The delay is so minute that you really can't notice it at all. The latency is virtually non-existent. It's 21 milliseconds. So here's kind of a look at the different, the different kind of pencils and fine liners and brushes you got. They all have different thickness settings, so I'll get more into that later. So the stylus, it's a magnetic stylus. It'll stick to the edge of the device. And then on the back, they've got these little rubber pads in each corner, so it keeps it from sliding around on your desk when you're writing, which is quite nice. And you got the power button up here, top left corner, and then it's got a USB-C port on this edge as well. So it's kind of a cool design, and they also sell these covers separately where it has a magnet in the spine, and you just attach the Remarkable to the magnet, and it holds it very securely. So I'll probably do a different video to show the covers a little bit more, but it's pretty cool how it fits in there like that. Let's go ahead and switch over to talking about some of the software features now. So this runs a Linux-based software. It supports EPUB, PDF files. You can have like your main view of listed files right here. You can also create folders, and then you can rename your different items right here, and you can do some different things when you long press. So you get like the option to duplicate. You can star, so it'll show up in your favorites list. And then you got you can send files as well. It'll require an internet connection. The Remarkable has Wi-Fi for transferring files, but it doesn't have like a web browser or anything like that. You've got to use the Remarkable app. They have them for mobile devices, or you can use a web browser to transfer content to your Remarkable and to sync your content to and from that. But so you can't just like load it in on your computer and sideload documents that way. You have to use their app, go through the Remarkable account. So it does require a Remarkable account. Once you open up a notebook, you do have a number of templates to choose from for your notes, and you can change this later as well. But once you choose one of these, you'll get this loaded up in your Notepad. You can add pages. You got some different options down here, so you can show you can also switch over to landscape view, and you got the different layers. So if you wanted to do your notes in different layers, you got that option. So they got a couple of different transferring options. You can send by email. They have a conversion feature, which I'll show a little bit later. So up here, you got the zooming, the text selection tool, the eraser, different line thicknesses, and then of course you got the different options for your writing. So each one has like different pressure sensitivity. So in just a different style, like the pencil actually looks like a pencil writing if you look up close. And then like the other ones, like the marker doesn't have as much pressure sensitivity and stuff like that. But this is just kind of a quick look at the different writing options you have with the Remarkable. The scribble and the label were written with the medium thickness. So let's go ahead and load up just the regular pencil. So it supports tilt. You get kind of the shading effect. The harder you press, the darker the line is. You got the different thickness options, 3 different thickness options. And then again, like if you press down soft, it'll be a darker, or if you press down soft, it'll be a lighter line. If you press down hard, it'll be a darker line. So it's all the pressure sensitivity with the, it's got like 4,096 levels of pressure sensitivity. So like different, writing utensils have different pressure sensitivity. Like the paintbrush is fairly sensitive to it. Like the straight liner, it's just basically one solid level. You've got the undo option right here. You can do undo, redo. You've got 3 different colors. Obviously the white, it's only going to show up when you have like different color, like black content. And then you've also got the gray color as well. So this applies to all your different pens and pencils. So here's kind of a look at a note. If you don't have the greatest handwriting like I do, they have this conversion feature. Well, it'll convert your handwritten notes into, typed text. So it does require an internet connection, but then, it works pretty well. It's pretty accurate. It's more accurate than Onyx's conversion feature. I was kind of messing around with some different things here. I set up a different test page just to see how it would handle like some sloppy writing, some list items, and some different symbols. And, it works pretty well. Some things work better than others, like the symbols. It doesn't really recognize certain symbols, but like these ones seem to work pretty well. Like doesn't get backslash. It kind of thinks it's an L or something. That kind of depends. But as far as the conversion feature goes, though, I mean, it does work quite well, and you can send that via email. Easy way to convert your handwritten text or handwritten notes into typed text. So let's talk about the interface a little bit more. Again, we've got the different sections. You have your sections for your notebooks, PDFs as well. Like I said, this device it also doubles as an e-reader with the PDF and EPUB support, though DRM free EPUBs. You got your section for favorites. You can also go in and view this as a list view if you don't want to view the cover view. It's a little bit more condensed. You've got all your quick links along the top to add new folders, new notebooks, new quick sheets. You've also got the search function up here. So if you wanted to search through your documents, you can do that as well. Let's go over into the settings menu. I'll show you a couple of different things in here. So again, it requires a Remarkable account and to use the Remarkable app to transfer your content. So that's where the Wi-Fi comes in. There is no web browser or anything like that, but you do have the ability to transfer documents using the app and using a web browser on your computer if you wanted to plug it in with the USB cable. So they do have that option right there. It's a beta feature. You can set a passcode to turn the device on and on for added security. It does support a number of languages for that handwritten conversion feature. Here's the full list right here as of this review. So it's got this accessibility option as well where you can increase the text size across the interface. So we'll go switch over to the large for a little while so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. And then when you go back to the home screen, it will have larger icons as well. When you switch over to the cover view, you can see it has 3 per row. All right, so let's move on to talk about some of the ebook functions now. So the Remarkable, it's primarily a note-taking device. You can write notes on ebooks as well, ebooks and PDFs. You can still use all of your writing functions, and it has the highlighter as well. So you got like the freehand highlighting here. So it's a little bit different than you might see on a typical e-reader. So like I said, this is more geared toward the note-taking aspects. But it does double as an e-reader. The features just aren't quite as advanced as you might expect from a typical reading device. It's a little bit more basic, but you got to understand they're staying in their lane with the Notepad type features here. So it doesn't have any kind of, it doesn't have a dictionary. If you hold down a word, it doesn't have pinch zooming, hyperlinks. So like trying to tap the footnote link there doesn't activate that. It's definitely a different experience than something you might expect on like a Kindle e-reader, for instance. I mean, it does serve as, a basic text e-reader, and you've also got the PDF support. So when you're reading ebooks, you've got some different adjustment options. You can change the font size. So if you have made some edits on the screen, if you wrote on there, use some highlights, it'll give you that warning. But you do have these 6 different font sizes to choose from. You got the left justification, full justification, a couple different page margin options and line spacing options, and a few different font choices. So not a whole lot of features, but enough to get the job done as far as, basic layout settings here. Larger font sizes are kind of nice, with a big screen like this. And then you've got a few options for your fonts. It doesn't have any like inverted mode or anything like that. So one thing worth mentioning is this ebook we're looking at right now. It's actually a Wikipedia article. They have a Google Chrome extension where you can send web articles to the Remarkable to read them reformatted. It takes out the pictures and the ads and all that stuff. And then it just looks like a regular text document. You can also send as PDF as well. It doesn't seem to work quite as well, but it is an option. So you've got the multi-page view when you're using ebooks and PDFs, and you can enter page numbers to go to. You've also got the search. You can run searches within your ebook, and it'll give you a list of all your results. Then you can tap on that, and it will take you to the location. But it'll also include words that just have partially the word you typed in as well. So let's switch over to a PDF with the larger screen. These devices are kind of nice for the PDFs, but the Remarkable doesn't have a whole lot of features. You do have like different cropping and zooming modes. I would like them to have a contrast darken feature, but it doesn't because as you can see here, the text is a little bit light. Some devices have a way to darken the text automatically, and that is kind of nice, but the responsiveness is pretty good. You can write directly on PDFs, of course. Then you can export or sync it to Remarkable account to get the notes off of there. When you sync, you can immediately get the notes directly onto your mobile device easily, or like using the web browser on your desktop device to get the notes off of here. So you've got the usual note taking options. You got undo, the same stuff I showed you earlier. It's all the same sort of deal in the when you're using PDFs as far as the note taking option goes. So you got a couple of different options as far as you can switch to landscape mode. You can switch over to the multi-page view here to sort of navigate your device. When you're exporting, you can choose different pages this way as well. So this is kind of the one aspect where, like, the Remarkable has 1 GB of RAM, dual core 1.2 gigahertz processor. You know, it'll get a little bit bogged down when you're loading like this multiple thumbnail view. But as far as note taking, you know, and e-reading, it's pretty quick as far as an ink device goes. You got the table of contents view as well as one long list. And then you've got these different zoom options for PDF as well. If you wanted to use the zoom dial, and then it will pop up this little icon on the side here. You can kind of drag the visible area, the box for the visible area, and then you can increase your zoom modes here. There's little dials, or you can choose from some preset zoom levels. But the zoom levels aren't maintained once you turn the page. So once you turn the page, it'll reset back to regular view. I know a lot of people like to compare iPads with these type of devices, but to me, it's just a completely different experience. So here's just a listen to the sound difference. This is one thing I could never understand, why people like writing on the iPad. It's so loud and clanky and unnatural writing on the glass screen. This is the older iPad though, with the original Apple Pencil. I don't know how the newer one is. And another advantage with the ink, of course, direct sunlight doesn't phase it at all. iPad full brightness, you can't really even see anything. So ink does have its advantages, and they made the screen feel a lot more paper-like than a typical tablet. When you're writing, kind of even has the sound and feel of a paper experience. But you know, just kind of comes down to what type of device you're looking for. Again, the reading features on here are kind of basic but serviceable. It's really more of a note-taking device. That's their specialty, with the different types of pens, different type of sensitivity and tilt and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the ebookreader.com for more info. Bye.